show. The presenter is Moa Yodijistunzia, and today's topic is very interesting. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Straight Talk Media. Also join our Facebook group so that anytime we post a video, you'll be one of the special people to be notified. Today's topic is very interesting as usual. I'm going to read the topic to you and then we can get into it. I am leaving my wife because I can't cope with her eating habits anymore. She will spend our last money on a junk food instead of cooking a healthy meal for our family. She has put on 3 stones since we got married 9 months ago. Sex is very bad. She goes to sleep as soon as she gets into bed. I feel like I made a big mistake marrying her. I am done and I'm leaving the marriage. This is today's topic for you. What do you think about it? As always, I know you have a good opinion on all the video that we put out there. Please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to leave your comment, because you know that this is what this show is about. Without your comments, the show doesn't interest anybody, and people who brings this topic to Straight Talk Media Show, they know that you've got a very good opinion, very good point out there, and they want to take advice from you too and compare it to what kind of advice they've got already. Thank you so much. So I'm going to get into the topic with my opinion and my idea. You know, you do these things here, I always have a big opinions. Okay, it's very important. I mean, in my head, when I think about the topic, I was like, is this something that he's not talking about? Is there some kind of problems in the marriage that he's not talking about and blaming it on his wives, weight that he's put on, or talking about sex, not sex, something? What is wrong? I personally feel like there's something happening in the marriage that he's not talking about, because if he's just putting on weight, and because when you put on weight, we all know what happens. You become tired quickly, everything becomes extra for you, and as soon as you get into bed, because of all the work that you've done in the evening, you can't keep your eyes on because you're tired, so you fall asleep quickly. That's what one of the consequences of putting on weight. Okay, so I mean, is it just the weight that you're worrying about? Is it just the sex, or there's something happening in the relationship? Because he went ahead and said, I've made a big mistake. Hello, your wife is put on weight 9 months after marriage. What's the big mistake there? I mean, she's cooking junk food. Yes, you'd rather use the last money on junk food than cooking a healthy meal for the family, which I do understand you in that, because junk food can be expensive as well. I mean, if you go to the market with £5, you can probably find a potato, get some veg, maybe in a corner, find some meat that is on sales, and you can prepare something, or spaghetti bolognese with some meat, beef, and you're done. But if you spend that and when you cook that meal, I'm sure you will have a leftover that maybe tomorrow you can probably, but with the junk food, it just, you eat it all and you want more, because that's how it's done. It makes you crave for more. It doesn't fill you up. You eat it, it's nice, it's sweet, and the next minute you want something. So he's mentioned 3 stuff here: cooking junk, spending money on junk food, no cooking healthy meal, sex is not good, and then you put on too much weight. Actually, it's 4 things that your husband is worried about. You understand? So in my opinion, is it something there that you're not talking about? Is she rejecting you sexually? Is your wife rejecting you sexually? Because by the time you get to bed, she's gone, fast asleep, you wake her up, like, no, I'm so tired. Is she rejecting you? Is the rejecting of the sexual problems affecting you in a relationship? That can be a big deal. If your spouse is sexually dissatisfied, in a marriage, eventually you will look for it somewhere. If your other partner is, sexually dissatisfying you, then they go find it in some way. So that's why I said on last week's show, if you knock, the door will open, and if you seek, you'll find. It's written in the Bible. You understand? So we need to be very careful here. Is it about the weight, or is it about sex, or is it about her spending money on junk food, because junk food makes you big, like you said. So that the junk food and not cooking the healthy meal, it goes together. So all these things are worrying you. But if it's really the problem, then you need to address it. You can't live in marriage because your wife is put on weight. So and then she goes to bed. By the time you get in, then she's fast asleep. So making love with making having sex with your spouse, also about a connection. Having sex with your partner is about connection. Probably she's put on weight, you're angry, she's spending money on junk food, you're angry. So all this anger is disconnecting you from your spouse. Or probably because you're angry, you shout at her, you raise your voice, or you call her names because she's put on weight. So she's not satisfying you when it comes to sex, because we should have connection to bring that sexual feelings there. You understand? If there's no connection and there's something that you say that is hurting me, anytime you touch me, that comes into my mind and I'll just pull away, because the connection is not there. So that's one of the things that we need to look out for in a relationship. Are you leaving her because the weight is too much for you? You don't find her attractive anymore? Because when you met her, she was as skinny as me. Okay, I'm not skinny, just joking. Okay, I put on weight, but my husband is not leaving me. Thank God for that. Okay, so when you met her, she was as skinny as you want, and now you got married, she's comfortable, she doesn't go to the gym anymore, she doesn't do any exercise anymore. I mean, the junk food, and she's putting on weight, she's comfortable. It's something that you have to, again, it's communication. When your wife is putting on weight and becoming bigger and big, and you're not happy with it, you just have to communicate. Sometimes support her, sometimes you can drive her to the gym or something like that. I personally tell people, I mean, if I put on weight, it's not my husband's problem to deal with it or to help me lose that weight. I have to motivate myself to lose the weight, because if you don't like the weight, then you do something about it. But most spouse or couples, like, oh, he's not helping me, he's always bringing junk food in the house, so I'm eating it and all that. I know that, but you need to have your self-control. You need to support yourself here. Understand? So you need to support. Probably she's one of those women that depend on their husbands to do stuff. So probably you need to motivate her, sit her down, have a nice conversation without shouting and name calling. Those things doesn't make relationship work. Name calling, belittling your partner, looking down upon them, and those things, it does affect marriage a lot. It does affect their mental capacity. It does affect their self-esteem and other stuff. You understand? So I know, don't leave because she's put on weight. Have a communication, because marriages are tough. Marriages are tough. And you said you have children together as well. So I mean, you need to put all this into consideration and help your wife the best way you can, and help her, come back together. Work together and come back together. Okay, sex actually is always bad, or you are not, it's the sex actually bad, or you are not, getting enough, because she falls asleep before you come to bed, and you stay up. Probably you're staying up, playing games. Most husbands do that. Before it is, black people don't play games. And playing games, then it's a white people style, because my husband does that. He used to play games till like 2 a.m. in the morning. He has friends all over the world. They don't know them like physically, but on the game, he knows people. Okay, we are in the UK. He plays with people in Dubai, America, Canada, all over the world. He's playing with them. So sometimes they can get carried away with this game and play, and then comes to bed 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock to wake you up. And then they want sex. And I was like, no, I can't have sex. You stay up playing your games, enjoy yourself. Just leave me alone to, carry on with my sleep. You understand? So probably you staying up too long playing games, and then you come to bed whenever you want to come and you want sex. No, you can't have your cake and eat it. Understand? So please don't leave your wife because she's put on weight. We all need to remember where we started, and marriages are not the same. The way we started, we're not going to end up the same way. People change, you change, I've changed. I've got bigger, you got slimmer, you got bigger, and all that things change. We're growing. We're not children anymore, so we shouldn't expect things to be when we started. Marriages are stuff that else there wouldn't be any divorce, else everybody in this world will be married. You understand? Or I mean, you go to bed late, like I say, you go to bed late playing games, and like all the men doing nowadays, people watch porn in the middle of the night and all that. So you need to be very careful. You can't leave your wife because she's put on weight, the sex is bad, and mentioning the junk food. You can, men can also cook, okay? So or if you don't want her to use the last money on junk food, probably you should cook. Probably you can go shopping and use the last money, go and buy food, baskets of food, and leave it in the house. If there's no money, then she won't go out and buy junk food. You understand? So you need to work. You need to work together. You are in this marriage together. Things happen, but this is not the end of it. You should work together, communicate, and after this, another thing will come. That's life. That's marriage is for you. You understand? So work, check your habits as well. Check you might not put, you haven't put on weight. You know, maybe you're not eating the junk food and all that, but you want more sex, and she can't give you that. So it's give and take. Work with her. Maybe stop calling her names because she's put on weight, and check yourself as well. Check your, questionnaire and see what you're doing wrong. Instead of blaming it on her that you're done with this marriage. You going. Marriages are tough. Okay, understand? So probably you don't take a wash before. But I thought about that like hell. Probably she doesn't want to have sex with you because you stay up playing games and drinking and smoking. You come to bed smelling yuck, smelling smoky, smelling alcohol, and you just want to have sex. No, she doesn't want that. You understand? So you need to check that box as well. Are you drinking too much? You know, like I said, drinking too much, smoking, and whatever is going on in your marriage right now. Please don't pretend and put it on her weight. Okay, whatever is going on, don't pretend and put it on her weight. Yes, women, we do lose it sometimes when we get married, because I say to some of the people that I talk to, it's like, before you got married, you were always doing your hair, looking good, and doing all that, and zipping this up and showing him your best styles, in the bed. And as soon as the marriage happened and you settle, we forget to keep it going, because men are visual. Men like what they see. They want to see us looking sexy, looking nice, attractive every day. Okay, so if you don't do it, they're going to look for it somewhere. Remember last time when you were in the car with your husband, driving, saw that young girl, beautiful, sexy girl standing by the roadside. Your husband was staring at that girl. Yes, that's men. You can't stop that. Men are visual. When they see something nice, what is nice to men is nice. So you keep up with the joints. Maybe you can do it like when you started, but at least keep it going. Make sure you do your hair, you keep yourself nice and clean. It's for yourself and for your husband as well. You understand? So that's why I said, whatever is going on in a marriage, please, husband, we've spoken already. Don't leave her because of weight. I'm like yo. At the moment, I'm like 12 stone, or if no more. Okay, I lose and I put on. I lose and I put it on, and I know it's myself. But my husband doesn't call me names because I put on weight. My husband doesn't call me names because I don't look like I used to. Understand? It's very, very important. It's very, very important. So this is my opinion. The topic is going to go out there. Please leave your comments. Tag a friend. Subscribe to my channel. On Facebook is Straight Talk Media. On YouTube is Straight Talk Media. And you can check my page as well. Page is also Straight Talk Media.